Hey everybody, welcome back to Matter of Facts podcast. This time with four of us. Nick and I brought our handlers, our supervisors, bosses.
Neurodivergents and the women who marry them.
That's probably accurate.
I mean,
That's probably really accurate.
This whole episode did start off by Nick and I both remarking that we both married women who have experience dealing with special needs children. And that cannot be a coincidence.
It's like we were saying in the other episode. It's in my trade at least. It's extraordinarily common to marry a teacher. I do not know why, but I know 2 tool and die makers that are not married to teachers, and I know dozens of them. There's not a lot of us.
I think that merits studying because that's way too much correlation. Mm-hmm. So anyway. Introductions are necessary because you two are the guests here. This is my wife, Gillian, for anybody that hasn't met her yet, although I think everybody in the chat pretty much has.
Except for Dr. Scary Guy.
Except for Dr. Scary Guy, our newest patron.
And this is my wife, Rachel. You guys have seen her harassing me in the comments.
Yes.
Rachel's still new enough that she watches y'all.
It entertains her and bothers the dog, so it's even better.
I don't take it personally that my wife doesn't feel the need to listen to me for another hour every week.
Well, usually I get the conversation before y'all even go on. So and we've also been together for 20 years, so
there is that.
I kind of get. I'm ahead of the game.
Is that what we're gonna say?
I've got the notes and the cheat sheet already planned out.
Already bored to tears, in other words.
I actively try not to rant to my wife about what is going to be on the podcast.
Yeah, I have to ask.
That's amazing self-restraint. I usually don't manage that.
Well, before we get on every day, I usually am cooking dinner, getting dinner on the table. For the 2 of us, we do get the dishes all cleaned up, and then I pop down here. So
yeah, that's kind of how we are.
Yeah. It's not a whole lot of time to go into it in depth. But
and then y'all really don't plan ahead either. Y'all kind of just the day of talk about.
No, we're
usually on Tuesday, Wednesday at the latest.
Sometimes if we kind of have pre-designated an episode for the next week, we'll actually be on the ball and do research and stuff. It's weird.
Yeah, especially if with the episode where we were talking about conspiracy theories that were actually true, or government shenanigans. We both did disturbing amounts of research.
Yeah.
So
the disturbing part was that I don't feel like we really learned that much. We pretty much already knew everything.
I mean, I learned the dates. That was about it.
There is that. Did Phil come with an instruction manual like Sheldon?
Sometimes I wish that there was an instruction manual to Phil. I had to figure it out all on my own. I deserve a prize and several trips to the beach for figuring this guy out. Actually, he wasn't really that hard to figure out.
I'm a very simple person.
Yeah, he really... I'm going to tell on myself. I make it harder
on myself. Keep going.
I make it harder on myself with Phil because it just can't be that straightforward. There has to be underlying emotions. There has to be something there. It just can't be.
He can't really mean exactly what he said the way he said it. Exactly. Can't be that simple.
Exactly.
Comments? Rachel? I can't be the only one here.
I don't know.
What do you think? Was I difficult to figure out?
No.
No? That's it? That's all you got? No?
That was a hard no.
But do you complicate it more?
I don't think I complicate it more. He's so confident in what he talks about.
I just tend to do things. And she just takes me at my word that if I've said something, it's probably going to happen because I don't tend to bluff.
Sometimes I question it, but not all the time.
Okay, I'm not talking like planning or anything like that. I'm talking about like emotional kind of stuff.
Like she'll ask my opinion and I'll tell her. And then she's
Mhm.
like, but you can't really think that. And I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure I do because I said it.
It took her a while to believe that I was being honest with my opinions, I think.
Yes, I would
Okay.
agree.
Thank you. Sometimes I still question it though. And
Ah.
we are what, 2 months, a month and a half from 18 years married.
Ooh.
19, 20. Oh yeah, 21. Oops. We've been together for 21 years.
Yeah.
Not 20.
I got asked the other day at work
Whoops.
how long Gil and I had been married. And I did the math and I was shocked because I was like, it didn't occur to me that we're coming up on 18 years. Like I know what year we got married and I know what year it is now, but until I actually like subtracted one from there, I was like, oh my God, we've almost been married 18 years.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
This year, let's see, November will be 21 years we've been together. No. Yes. No. Yes, it is. 21 years we've been together. So I have been with Phil just as many years as I haven't been with Phil. Does that make sense? Yeah,
Mhm.
that's right. Yeah, because I was 21 when we met.
You've spent half your life with me.
I've spent half my life with you. And he didn't come with a manual.
No, did not come with a manual. I got to loop back around to this before we go any further. Dr. Scary Guy says he misses the Raising Values podcast.
yes.
I know.
So does she.
Yeah,
I know.
I'm not pressuring. I understand.
Pressure.
Yeah, raising values.
There will be much to talk about when we finally do that again.
I think I have a topic for at least a year's worth. I know that I have notes in my phone for every chapter in my book that I'm going to write. So maybe
Nice.
every chapter would be a podcast topic that day. I don't know if I'm just not there yet. I think there's still so much that's going on in my life and our life and everything that's happening right now that focusing on doing a show is just, I don't have the bandwidth to do it. So
The emotional bandwidth.
yeah, the emotional bandwidth to really take care of do that, and then have to still take care of my parents, and then I actually I start in with my neurologist on Monday to start going over all the Huntington disease stuff. So that'll be fun.
Hey, you might as well get ahead of it though.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't know that my grandfather had it. My dad didn't know that he had it. He was estranged from his dad, and now, once we've learned all the symptoms and everything of Huntington's disease, I can look back on my life and think, well, gosh, my dad was in his 40s and 50s when I started to notice these symptoms that he's having that have progressively gotten worse. And that 30s and 40s is about the time that the symptoms really start to hit. And so now I'm looking at myself going, well, crap, I am starting to see the same symptoms and I'm in my 40s. So at least if, however it progresses, if I truly have it or not, will be way ahead of the curve than my dad was and then my grandfather was. And there's there's a new promising surgery that's out there, and it is brain surgery, but it's been working wonders for people in the UK, and the US is now trying to fast forward the surgery with the
I was going to say
FDA? Who is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
FDA.
And we're very
FDA,
fortunate that like the foremost center for studying Huntington's is right down in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Nice.
So like we kind of lucked. I told Gillian, I'm like, we kind of lucked into that because a lot of people that have a disease as rare as you might have, it hasn't been confirmed yet. They literally have to like hop on a plane and go cross country to go to the place where it's studied and treated. So I don't know. I mean, Gil and I have had discussions about what happened. What does our long-term life look like if you do get diagnosed with Huntington's, and how does that change our long-term plans? But to me, it's always come down to like, going back to me always telling her, like, I told you what I thought, just take me at my word. Like, I've always said, I'm going to make the smartest decision for my family I can. I'm not going to make dumb decisions that are going to bite me in the butt later. It's just not how I'm wired. So if I know that earlier than we anticipated, you're going to start to have issues with mobility and everything else, we're going to plan ahead for that.
Yeah, that was the most recent conversation of me going, are you sure there's not any underlying emotions here? Because I'm totally ripping up all of our future plans that we've had since we've been together and saying, oh, we can't do any of that now. Like, have to have wheelchair access, have to have a nurse on call. I won't be able to walk, kind of stuff like that. So
yeah, and I mean, and to the point I made then, which I'm sure Nick would agree with, I'm sure any decent husband would, and any decent wife would. You know, when you stand up in front of the preacher and you say, "Till death do us part," I signed a blank check.
Yep.
yeah.
I knew what I was signing. I just didn't know I didn't know how many zeros were going to be at the end of that number yet. So if this is where our life takes us, like I agreed to take the ride.
Yeah.
I'm not upset.
We when we bought this house here, Phil, I know I've mentioned this to you. I don't know if I mentioned it to Gillian. A lot of joint issues in my family, just because we're all blue collar people. We all beat the crap out of ourselves. It's just how it's going to be. We were very particular in finding a ranch house that would be accessible if one of us were to have a problem in the future.
Yeah.
Because frankly, we hate moving.
Mm-hmm.
That was rough.
Yeah, it was especially because I was laid up at the time.
Yeah, you were laid up. Well, even like looking for a house was rough.
It was. Yeah, we bought this house 2020.
Yeah, 2020.
Yeah, so right during the middle of COVID, which was a little deceptive, with how much traffic goes by the highway, but you don't really hear it in our house, so it's not a problem.
Yeah. Gillian was 5-6 months pregnant when we moved in here.
5 months.
You were
December, January.
pregnant enough that you didn't have any business lifting heavy furniture.
I was like 4 or 5 months pregnant.
But she still packed up like probably 3/4 of the apartment, because leading up to, put it this way, I was working out of town. I flew home the day before we had to go and close on the house. Or was it 2
That's
days
aggressive.
before? Well, to be frank, at the time I had spent quite a few years working my way into the career that I loved, got a pretty decent position, I thought, that had a lot of vertical movement in it. And unfortunately, it came with living out of a suitcase 6 months out of the year. You know, it was a lot of travel and a lot of really aggressive work posture. I loved every minute of it, but it did mean that leading up to having to go close on a house and move my pregnant wife, I don't even remember what station I was at. I was out of town. And literally, I was in the airport waiting for my flight to come home. My boss called me and said, "Hey, can I extend you for a couple of days?" And I said, "I'll be divorced. Like,
Well,
I will have to move in with you. My wife will kill me."
The story of this house is, this is the house that we originally saw. I loved it online. I wanted it so bad, but it was outside of our price range. And then, I don't know, a few months later, like, we had been looking and going to all these different places whenever he was home, and that my realtor called me up and was like, "Hey, he dropped the price and it's in your range. Do you want to go see it?" So we came and saw it, put an offer in that day, and there was an offer that was placed right before us that same day. But I think it was because he was a veteran and Phil was a veteran, and that's why he went with us.
It didn't hurt.
And it didn't hurt that,
I offered him asking price for the house instead of trying to lowball him and haggle him. But I told Gillian, I'm like, here's the thing. Like, let's say we try to save like 10 grand principal and we wind up losing the house. If this is really the house you want, $10,000 principal over, spread out over a 30-year mortgage, you're never going to notice it.
No,
So
no, your interest rate is so much more.
Yeah. Just let's offer them what they're asking, cut all the BS out, and let's just get the house. And that worked out in our favor.
We kind of have a similar story. So we looked at this house drove away. I told Nick, I love that house. We have to buy it. And he said, no, we have to look at more houses.
We have to look at least the other ones the realtor set up today.
Yeah.
It
And
was the second house we looked at?
I think the second house. And then by the time we tell the realtor, he's like, oh, it's under contract.
Yeah, we texted him the next day that we wanted to set up an offer, and he said, well, just so you know, it's under contract.
So then I spent the rest of the summer looking online, waiting for the house to come back on the market. And then one morning I was drinking coffee, looking, and I was like, Nick, the house is back on the market. Call the realtor.
Now, like, we're not looking at anything else. Call.
No.
No. There were not a lot of houses that fit what we wanted to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
You guys live in a pretty high price market, being near New Orleans. The county we're in Illinois is one of the higher property value counties that's outside of like Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not uncommon for a house like ours to hit the $400,000 range, and that is just well outside of what is reasonable for us.
Yeah.
So we were looking for a house that needed a little bit of work, had a large yard, wanted it to be a ranch if at all possible, and she wanted a natural fireplace.
Yeah.
Which fortunately we found everything in this house, and it's all brick, and it's actually a really nice house. It just, the house had never been updated since it was built in the 60s. So, the long shag green carpet in the master, which is still there. I need to tear that out.
We had carpet in the bathroom.
There was carpet in one of the bathrooms.
I remember growing up in a house with carpet in the bathrooms. Yeah.
Oh, that was terrible. Yeah.
But y'all just finished a bathroom, so you're getting
one
there.
of them. We finished the one with carpet in it first, because one of the things we didn't realize when we put a bid in on the house was the drain for the shower was not connected to the shower pan in the master bathroom.
Yep.
We figured that out when I was tearing the carpet out of that. Yeah, the PVC flange had broken and separated. Yeah, so there was like the electrical in the house needs updated.
Plumbing.
Standard old stuff. We saw there's still copper drain lines that we're working on replacing. In fact, we have to do some emergency plumbing. I was actually doing plumbing last night until about 8:30 at night, and I'm going to have to redo all the plumbing to the kitchen as far as drain lines and one of the bathrooms tomorrow or Saturday. Yeah, Saturday.
Today's Thursday.
Yeah.
Sounds like no bueno.
It's not bad.
You're going to be
PVC is
working
easy.
on plumbing in what temperature? Is
Oh
it
no,
outside?
it's like
inside?
74 in my basement.
Oh, okay. I'm
It's
thinking
warmer in
maybe
my
you have to
basement
go
than it is in the
outside
rest
and
of the
dig
house.
holes in your frozen
Oh, God,
tundra.
You
God,
need
no.
a jackhammer.
So I know you guys don't have really basements down there, right?
No, they'd be below ground swimming pools.
So right now the basement we're in has like an 8-foot ceiling. So this stays warm pretty much year round, or cool in the summer. It's really nice when it's exceptionally hot out and our air conditioner broke.
2 summers
Okay.
ago.
Yeah, that was horrible. But fortunately for us, because of the way the frost situation is here and the fact that most people have basements, all your plumbing is accessible to a lot of people. So it's not
Okay.
buried in concrete, it's not buried in dirt. It is buried in the walls, but sometimes you can
Yeah.
access that stuff.
Yeah, no, we don't have basements. We bury our dead above ground.
Mhm.
I mean,
So
some places around here, the water. So I had done some looking into several years ago to see like how hard would it be to sink like a shallow water well into the backyard as an emergency water source. And I think what I came up with was right here, if I could drive a sock pipe 16 feet into the ground, I'd have water.
Oh, you can drive pipe there.
But
That
my
deep.
point is, that's how high the water table is.
So, oddly enough, even though I'm like another 900 feet above sea level from you, we can drive so our house is up on a hill, right? And our backyard kind of drops off into a valley. It's about a 30-foot drop.
I think so.
It's like a little 30-foot hill that goes down there. Down at the bottom of that hill is an artesian water source.
Nice.
If you
That's
dig a
fortuitous.
foot deep, you have water coming up out of the ground.
Sweet.
A
Right.
30-foot hill would basically be a mountain down here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the hill from our house to the bottom of our property to the like where the highway is or town is like 400 feet down. So
That's crazy.
makes a decent sledding hill.
Yeah,
Wouldn't
if the
know.
weather would get warm and the snow would stay.
It's gross that you're saying if it only got warm enough to go ski or to go
Well,
sled.
It does need to get warm enough to snow. Right now the weather's so cold, the air is so dry that it can't. It
And
won't.
we did get a lot of snow this week.
We did.
And it would be a great day tomorrow to go out and play in the snow if it was a negative 40.
She has been bemoaning the lack of snowshoeing depths of snow this year.
Okay, so what happens? It just like, I should know this, but there's no precipitation when it's that cold? Or
Yeah,
it does something
it just
different?
won't. Well, so it basically the pressure system is such that the air is really dry because it's Arctic air that's coming down out of Canada that's bringing all this cold down,
Mhm.
and the Arctic air is really dry, and so the humidity drops a lot. I think our humidity today was -22 was the dew point.
Yeah.
So you couldn't even get condensation until -22, in which case it's already solid. So there's no evaporation from the area around us to put moisture up into the air. Yeah,
That's gross.
Jeff's got a point here. Good point here. So the air is too cold to hold the moisture. That's true. Your humidity level feels worse when it is warmer because the air has a greater volume for moisture at higher temperatures.
Yes.
We're familiar with that.
Mm-hmm.
But
but
we're
the-
not familiar with the opposite.
Yeah.
What do you mean
Well,
air too cold to not be humid?
What do you mean there's no moisture in your air?
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, that is the
Jeez.
consequence of it getting that cold. But I guess, it beats mosquitoes the size of cats.
True.
It's
We have to run
true.
humidifiers. Yeah,
Mhm.
in the winter. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what.
Dr.
Yeah,
Scary
Dr.
Guys, right?
Yeah, I'm also unfamiliar with this whole needing a humidifier. We just open our windows.
Not even that. You don't even have to do that. I mean, that's the air runs during the day. Heater runs at night because it just warms up so much during the day. Now, that's not. I'm sure this weekend will be different when
Mhm.
we drop into the teens, but that's going to be like a day or maybe two.
I will say that like I keep a humidor here in the house to keep my cigars.
Sure.
And with a humidor, there's kind of a happy range for humidity, so they don't mold but they don't dry out.
Mhm.
In the summer, I can usually go the entire summer. Bear in mind that's like 8 months down here. I can
Right.
almost go the entire summer without having to top off the reservoirs in my humidor because it stays so humid inside the house, even with the AC running. And then in the when it gets to the winter months, I have to remember to top off the water like every 2 to 3 weeks, or those cigars will start to dry out.
So when I was keeping a humidor here, it was in the winter, it was every other day it had to be topped off.
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, we won't be sleeping with the windows.
Oh,
What?
Jeff Jag,
Funny.
so I won't be sleeping with the windows open. Rachel says we will also not be sleeping with the windows open.
No.
Yeah.
We don't sleep with the windows open here. Not with.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know because I feel like y'all aren't like. You are far from us, but you're not. I mean, you're not too far. I think we could probably drive to y'all in a day, but the difference in the weather to me is just so.
Mm-hmm.
It's just crazy.
So
I-
you don't want to move to Illinois.
No, and I've been seeing a lot of stuff from Mackinac Island on my feed lately. I don't know why. I love it, but that to me is crazy. Like what they're dealing with up in the UP and all that
Yeah.
stuff is like, and just thinking like we were just there, like in June. Was it June we were there?
Mhm.
I guess I didn't realize. I thought maybe like April was when the island opened up, and it's not. It's not. It doesn't open until June.
Yeah.
Yep.
Up until then, you have to fly to the island from the main island, the main land.
If
whatever.
they're lucky, the ice will start breaking up in May.
I saw
It's-
I saw one picture where they had snowmobiles parked out on the side of the street.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately talked me out
yeah,
of ever
I
moving
showed you
there.
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
done.
the
Don't want to move there.
people actually, I thought the whole island shut down so that they could do like repairs and things like that. And that's not true. People actually go to Mackinac Island to vacation in the winter, intentionally buy tickets on a plane or whatever,
Well,
or drive
this is what happens when we shut down all of our insane
and
asylums.
reserve hotel rooms.
Didn't they have a Christmas thing up there that you wanted to potentially go do one year?
No,
I,
they had
yeah.
the lilacs, I think. They had lilac.
Oh,
the
Lilac
Lilac
Festival.
Festival.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
like the week before we were there.
Yeah.
So,
So-
Raggle, for those that don't know, the UP is the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
It's beautiful. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
it's just country. Like it's just woods and it's just so pretty. I mean, it's nothing like we have down here in Louisiana.
I will say though, like some of the stuff we saw at the UP was just beautiful. Like what was it? Kitch to Kippy? Was that where they had that?
That's that blue water.
Oh yeah, they had a. I mean, I'm pretty sure we posted all those pictures and everything on our Instagram, but like, just some of the sites up in the Upper Peninsula were beautiful.
I know the Shipwreck Museum had Gillian and you pretty aghast at the kind of weather they get up there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
10 out of 10 convinced me I'd never want to be on a boat anywhere in the Great Lakes ever.
Mm-mm.
0 stars.
Just like crossing the Mackinac Bridge was scary enough for me. And I used to drive the causeway to work every day. That
But the causeway doesn't like sway back and forth underneath you. Like the causeway, you know, it's anchored all the way across the lake. But that suspension bridge, like you can feel it moving underneath you.
Yep.
I had to close my eyes. I was like, I can't do this.
I'm glad.
Don't look down. Don't look forward. Don't look. Just don't look.
I'm
Just
glad
close
I was
your
driving
eyes.
where we might have had a problem.
Yeah, that was awful.
When we
Well,
were
that one
heading
was-
when we were heading back, do you remember what the bridge looked like when we were coming up over it?
No, I don't.
How you could see that we were shifted
Oh yeah,
off center, almost a full lane.
yeah. It was really windy that day.
Mm-hmm. They closed the bridge a couple hours after we left.
Yep.
Did y'all get back before us? Or
Yeah.
no, maybe.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I think we did.
So
We-
we crossed that bridge and then they closed it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for not telling me.
No, when we went home, like when we left the
oh,
trip.
y'all went up
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
came back. I see.
Yeah.
Never
Yeah.
mind. I'm sorry. I thought you meant when we all went up to the UP.
No,
Oh, no.
No,
When-
when we left for the trip.
Yeah, when we went home, instead of driving south around Michigan and going through Chicago, we went
Mhm.
north and then came back south or through Wisconsin.
I do
It
remember
was-
that now that you say it.
Yeah, I
Y'all
think
did that.
I think the
And
Rainses did the
Josh,
same thing.
Yeah, Josh's family
They
did the
did,
same
yeah.
thing.
Because there
It's-
was one of our stops in the UP where Josh was like, we're only like a couple hours from home right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was a fun trip. I'm so glad we
It
all got
was.
to do that. I'm looking forward to this summer too.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta
Yeah,
move
Kentucky
back.
will be nice.
Hmm
Kentucky would be fun. I've never been to Kentucky.
Me either.
I mean, we drove through it.
I have.
Yeah, but that's not
Really?
being
Yeah.
to it.
Did we stop? We slept. We. Oh no.
No, we stopped in Tennessee.
No, we didn't. No, we stopped further up. In what's north of Kentucky?
Michigan.
No.
Indiana.
We didn't stop overnight in Indiana.
I don't remember where we
Ohio?
stopped.
We stopped in Tennessee.
Probably Tennessee.
Yeah, I would say Tennessee.
You look at the map. I'm going to answer Dr. Scary Guy's
Okay,
question.
It wasn't
Mhm.
Tennessee.
It was Tennessee. There's only one correct way to spell that word, and it does not include a W. I'll let you argue that one to death with Gillian because
I don't know what we're talking
I
about.
think I think that was when we talked about Mackinac Island.
Mhm.
Oh, I said Mackinac.
He's saying it does not include a W.
The spelling doesn't,
Mackinac.
but the pronunciation
Right.
does sometimes.
Because we learned this when we went to the
We
fort.
did learn this.
It was because of the Native American tribe, right?
Yes.
No. I thought it. Anyway, it's pronounced Mackinac.
Where'd we stop?
We stopped in Louisville, Kentucky, and spent the night. We stopped in Louisville, Kentucky.
On the way home?
Nope. Well, yes, both times. We stopped in Louisville and spent the night. I'm right, you're wrong.
Ooh.
I thought on the way home we stopped in Tennessee.
Maybe on the way home, but we stopped in Louisville on the way up.
Okay, I'll give you that on the way up. I was thinking on the way home.
I don't know.
So
What?
Doc says sometimes the wind can throw cars off the side rails of Mackinac. I've not heard that, but I would imagine that's probably why they closed the bridge.
I'm
never gonna get her on that bridge ever,
No, we are going back to Mackinac Island
but not on the bridge.
we'll go together
Mhm.
for the Lilac Festival
Sure.
when it's warmer.
But they do the Lilac Festival a week before we were there.
hmm
Okay, but it's still not frozen ice water
No.
and having to take a plane in from the mainland.
True.
Do we want
True.
to stay at the little fishing cabins again?
No, absolutely not.
I wasn't a fan of those cabins.
That was not fun.
It.
No.
I gotta put this down. I'm sure Stuart's gonna kill me later because he's gonna be like, "What was all the popping?" It's
You didn't even take your swipe at Stuart about the question he left us.
I will. In a
Oh,
minute.
yeah.
We were talking about the cabins,
Sure.
and then at the last few days we were up there. The wind was so strong, and that was crazy. And the at least in our bedroom, the curtains were blowing
Mhm.
on the inside of the cabin. Were
Yeah.
blowing in the wind. I was like, this is crazy.
Raggle said, "You're afraid of bridges and you live in Louisiana. Square that for me, please."
I know. See, and that's what I said. I drove the causeway every day for work for almost 10 years. And, well, not that long, but because I would take the twin span, which is, anyway, another bridge.
Mhm.
I don't know, but the causeway is not as high as the Mackinac Island Bridge.
It's not. I mean,
And-
it's 12
Oh,
feet
gosh,
off the
no.
water, I think.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think the deck on the bridge is like 500 or 600 feet above the water at one point.
Oh,
Something
it's
like
up
that.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite high.
It's a scary bridge. But I mean it's not the Atchafalaya. It's not the Mississippi River Bridge in Baton Rouge. This thing does not compare to anything we have down here.
Well, I don't think you guys have the bedrock needed for large suspension bridges up there. I think the water table's too high.
I mean, you drive a pylon deep enough.
I guess.
I can't think of any suspension bridges that we do have. And suspension bridges alone, like bridges scare me, but
Mhm.
suspension bridges, I don't know what it is. It's just, I guess, I don't know what it is. They just freak me out. There's one in Alabama we used to have to cross when we would go see my parents when they lived there, and I would have to close my eyes every time. And there's one in Arkansas when we're heading up to go back to Hot Springs. We cross it sometimes.
None of this concerns me, by the way.
What?
Never
are you
bothered
talking
me.
I mean,
Do
bridges,
our
just
bridges
stay
have to
between
be-
the lines and, don't rear end the moron in front of you.
Mhm.
Do our bridges have to be taller because of how high the water can get?
In some cases, yeah. But that's not the problem up in Mackinac. The problem up in Mackinac is they got to get all those big ships through.
Oh, that's right.
Mhm.
That's why that bridge is as tall as
Yeah.
it is, because they get the big ore haulers and the big cargo ships that run through there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's almost like a sea lane under that bridge. That's why
Yeah.
it is as high as it is. But
And yes,
yeah.
the Rainbow Bridge in Texas, that one when you're going like to get on it is freaky. but it's an optical illusion. I
Why?
don't y'all probably don't know what that bridge is, but
Isn't
it is pretty high.
Isn't that the one that comes down out of Bridge City heading towards Nederland? Or am I thinking of another bridge?
You're thinking of another one. It's the one from Louisiana to Texas.
Okay, that goes over the Sabine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's the one he's talking about.
Could be.
Anyway, we started off with neurodivergence and the women that marry them, and now we're talking about bridges. I feel like Sheldon.
We're gonna progress to trains here in just a minute.
Hey, look, it is not my fault that Instagram has been feeding me a bunch of miniature steam engine stuff
Stop.
and the elderly men that ride on them.
Stop.
Dude,
You're not
I'm not-
elderly.
I'm
No.
not
Maybe
gonna lie.
old.
But
But
by
you're
the
not
time I get
elderly.
one made,
I'm not gonna lie. Every time the algorithm locks onto me and starts showing me like all these old single cylinder machines all these old single cylinder engines that run like mills and stuff like that, I just sit there and just let it run on repeat 3 or 4 times. It is the coolest thing on earth to me.
you guys, if you do ever want to come to Illinois, I know you probably won't, but in the summer there is the Sycamore Steam Show. It is hundreds of acres of antique tractors, from original single cylinder steam tractors up through like the 1940s, 1950s stuff. It is so cool.
Nick was telling me Nick is trying to coerce me into going to a what was it, the Stalingrad shoot up in Wisconsin.
Oh yeah, the Stalingrad match up at so it would be, you won't be able to sign up for it this year because the sign up's already closed, but mid-February.
I can't sign up for it because I don't own clothing thick enough to go
What
to
is
it.
what
There's
is it?
that. Okay, so you're familiar with the Battle of Stalingrad, right?
Nope.
I'm a
Okay, so-
history nerd.
World War II in the Russian theater, the city
Wait.
of Stalingrad.
Enemy at the gates.
Nope.
Okay, I thought I for
First
sure
of
I would've
all,
got it with
correct your wife's cultural knowledge and make her watch
I don't know
that.
what you're talking
I
about.
mean,
yet.
I gotta.
You were
going
going
to
to watch that this weekend.
No.
Gotta give her some grace.
Rachel, you
3.5
shouldn't have said
hours.
anything. Now you have plans for the weekend.
She knows
Yes,
more
she does.
about.
Here's the thing. He'll forget.
Nope,
Don't
not
forget.
this.
Oh,
forget.
somebody will text him and remind him in the patron chat. I'm
Uh-huh.
sorry.
I will remind him, and he'll remind me, and we can snuggle on the couch on Saturday and watch it.
Yeah, I'll start a
Oh
fire.
boy, I'm so
You watch
excited.
Stalingrad?
It's a good movie. It's what is it, Jude Law and Keira Knightley, I think.
Yeah, Jude Law and early Keira Knightley. Actually, when she was good.
Yeah. It's a really good movie. But anyway, the
Yeah, it
point
is.
is,
So the Battle of Stalingrad largely took place in the winter, or at least the portion of it that everybody mythologizes took place in the winter, and that's why this match gets called the Stalingrad match. What it is it is a rifle pistol match. You must use a World War II era service rifle and a World War II era service pistol, or a pistol or rifle available for civilian purchase that was used during the war. And if it has a bayonet lug, you must mount a bayonet.
and I have an SKS.
Mm-hmm.
Fraggle is saying that you're wrong.
I'm not wrong about. Oh, Raquel Weiss.
I don't know
think
who that
he's
is.
right. No, it's
That
another
says Rachel
Rachel, whatever.
Facade and
Rachel
Facade.
Weisz.
Yeah, that. Jeff's got our back. He said it's a romance.
It is a
I'm
romance
sure.
movie.
It is a romance.
It's a better romance story than Pearl Harbor was.
It's a better
Dear
romance
God, was
story
that a
than
bad
Titanic.
movie. It was a better romance story than Titanic. Still a better romance than Twilight, too.
Still not interested.
Look, I'm telling you, Twilight would have been so much more watchable if only Blade had showed up halfway through.
I've actually never seen Twilight either.
Good. Don't. My high school girlfriend made me watch it. It was terrible then. It's terrible now.
I wouldn't have made you watch it.
Thank God.
That's why he married you.
That's why you're
Mhm.
marriage
Yeah.
material.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. But the reason I want Phil to come up and shoot that match not only is to make Phil shoot rifles in the cold, but
In
because it'd be
February,
fun.
in Wisconsin.
It's in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
It's further north than I am. It's actually halfway to
February.
Jeff's house.
Oh
Or
Lord.
no, Josh. It's halfway to the Rains' house.
Jeez.
I think Jeff's in Wisconsin too, if I recall correctly.
I think he might be. but I'm not sure where he lives.
I really hope I didn't just
roundabout
insult
where-
the hell out of him, and he's not from somewhere else. But in the back of my head, I want to say he's from Wisconsin.
What are we shooting the guns at?
Targets.
Yeah, so it's
Each other.
No.
25 yard to 300 yard
Jeff
silhouettes.
said. Jeff corrected me.
Oh,
Minnesota.
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 I was close.
Partway to Jeff's house. Yeah, I know of a range that does this shoot. Some of the guys will come dressed in authentic period uniforms, which is pretty cool. And everybody brings World War II surplus guns. One guy brought a Sturmgewehr one time.
Yeah,
That was pretty sweet.
Sounds fun.
Jesus Christ. My wife is not a gun nerd. She's a bug nerd. She's a biology nerd. She's a marine biology nerd. She's not a gun nerd.
You don't
or
know what a
history
Sturmgewehr
nerd.
is either.
I just shake my head and nod.
Yeah.
Sure.
See, she figured me out. If you just
I was
if you
about
just
to
agree,
say.
I'll be quiet.
Rachel figured this out a lot better than I did. I should just shut my mouth and, oh, yeah, yep.
Can I get that in writing?
No,
Damn it.
Well,
no.
Anyway, 41 minutes in, we still haven't talked about the very first thing we said we were going to talk about.
The
oops.
tent.
Well, I was going to skip the 10, go straight to like how the two
Oh,
couples
okay.
respectively met each
Okay,
other.
we can do that.
No, the tent. Do not spray DEET on tents. We've covered this multiple times. Just
We've covered it a
don't
couple
do
times.
More than a couple.
We covered it last week.
We did. Oh yeah, gear care. Don't spray your gear with stuff you don't know what it does.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. 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 I said I would address it. Yes, don't put bug spray on your tent, even if the bugs are literally knocking on the door of the tent to come in and greet you with their blood-sucking mouth parts.
And by the way, you know the one thing that didn't happen? The bugs did not get away from the tent.
I know that was the weird. It was crazy. That was crazy.
Dissolve the DWC. Bugs were like, "Oh, this stuff's great. Can I get another hit?"
Yeah.
Frickin' swamp mosquitoes. But
Or
anyway,
they just get sprayed so much down by you they don't notice anymore.
That's true.
I mean, it might have gave him a buzz, no pun intended.
That was a good one.
Nice.
Moving on.
Go for it.
What are we
So,
talking about?
how did we meet?
Well, everyone knows how we met.
Well, then screw it. We won't talk.
Nic
about it
and
again.
Rachel.
How did you two meet?
How did y'all meet?
Go ahead.
You start. I wanna hear. Wait.
She almost said you started this.
No, she started this. We actually met on the internet. Kind of like you guys did. But friends didn't introduce us. Plenty of Fish, was it?
Yeah.
Back in the day, Plenty of Fish was actually a pretty decent site. There were actual people on there instead of just bot scammers. So
What a concept.
she reached out to me and we found out we were going to the same college. Just I was from a whole county over. So it was yeah. Went on a date. I didn't think she was gonna show up.
He showed up in work clothes.
I did because I came straight from work.
Smelled horrible. You're lucky my friend said
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna judge him on one date.
Mm-hmm. I am. Hey,
But I admire his game because if you had judged him after one date, then he would have known you were not marriage material.
true,
True.
true.
Playing the
No.
long game.
Actually, what it was I was sick and tired of putting in effort and getting stood up for dates. Because Phil, you missed out on the online dating thing, how it is. But really, really common then and now, from what I've heard from my friends that are still dating online, you'll set up a date, you'll show up, the girl will not tell you that she's not coming, and you will just be stuck. You know, you just show up there by yourself, which gets irritating after it happens 3 or 4 times in a row. So I was like, you know what? I got a chance for some overtime at work. I'm going to take the overtime and then I'll go, because I didn't feel like missing out on overtime when at the time I was trying to buy a house. So, you know,
Making adult decisions.
true. And then she made an even sketchier decision and went on a hiking date with me.
Yeah, I
So
remember that story.
So what I'm hearing is that you just decided to go like all eggs in the basket and see if he was going to wear your skin like a coat.
Well, he was much closer than the other guys that were coming up on my profile. A lot of them were in Chicago.
Which,
Yeah.
Instant disqualification.
wasn't there one that wanted you to meet you at his apartment in downtown?
Yeah. Yep.
That's not sketchy at
It
all.
was either
Not
guys from
sketchy.
Chicago or guys I went to high school with.
True.
So I have to ask the obvious layup question: Does guys you went to high school with immediately disqualify them?
No, but it was the guys that teased me in high school that were coming up on my profile.
Oh, dirtbags.
So I've
Yeah,
like been
people that
there,
weren't
done
cool.
that.
Mm-hmm.
I had the problem of where I went to high school, my family is very large and they don't tend to leave. And then they tend to have even more kids and they don't leave either. So I had, of my graduating class, which was like, I want to say it was shy of 300 people. I can't remember what the number was now, but I think it was like 12 of the ladies in my graduating class were not at least second cousins or closer.
Oh,
Wow.
geez.
And most of the teachers I was either related to by blood or marriage.
That's like small town Mississippi dating
Oh, yeah.
opportunities.
Yeah. It's so dating in high school, I had to explicitly attempt to date women that moved in from out of state or not date at all. Literally, dude. Literally just my family.
So this brings up the story that I love to just drop on people that
Yeah,
I always joke with people that, and it's not a joke, but I always joke with people that, like, you know, Gillian, trying to think how I phrase it. Gillian met one of her cousins in my family reunion, which literally happened. I think we were we were engaged. We weren't married yet.
No, I think we were just dating. It was your grandmother's 100th birthday. Great grandmother's 100th birthday, and I don't remember who introduced us, and they were like, I needed to introduce you to this woman, and I said, oh, okay, great, and she goes, I was a house. Was a house? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was, because my dad was like,
Her
oh,
maiden
good
name-
breeding sense.
Her maiden name was Howes, and she married into the opposite side of my family tree 4 generations or over.
Huh.
Yeah,
So-
so I met my cousin at his family reunion
Nice.
birthday party,
Yeah.
and yeah.
It's just fun to start that layup that my wife met her cousin at my family reunion, and then you just see the look of abject horror on people's faces, and then you explain the situation to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we started dating, when she would stay the night over, I'd take her out. We'd go out to breakfast in the morning a fair amount of times, and I warned you a couple of times.
I didn't believe you.
She didn't believe me that just about everybody in town was family or knew us very well. How long did it take when we sat down to breakfast the first time?
Like 2 minutes.
2 minutes. My Uncle Bill walks up, be my great uncle on my mom's dad's side, walks up and starts having a conversation with me. And then what? Three more couples came up?
And then there was the one time you sent me to Jewel,
Yeah.
and I was walking around Jewel, and everybody's like giving me a look like, I think I know who you are, but I don't know who you are. And I go home and I'm like, why was everybody looking at me in Jewel? And he was like, oh, you probably saw my whole entire family.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is Jewel?
It's a grocery store.
Okay.
Yeah. Jewel Osco. Jewel, it was a grocery store and pharmacy, and now it's pretty much just a grocery store, sometimes with a pharmacy. So it's like it's like a Walmart without all the like toys and home goods and stuff like that. It's just food. But
Yeah.
it's a big one around here. But the let's see, there's like 5 big families in the county I live in, like really big farming families that have been here a long time, and my family is intermarried to all of them. So up until about COVID, we were doing a family Christmas party for my mom's great grandma's family. Every year they would do this, and we would rent a Legion Hall because it was like 350, 400 people that would show
Jeez.
up. Yeah, I'm number 385 or something like that in that family line.
Jesus.
Mhm.
I guess when you're snowed in, you don't have much to do.
You don't. And when you're a farming family, you really don't have much to do other than farming and having more kids to do more farming.
Is this like the meme of like the gigantic family and like what did grandma and grandpa do before there was TV to pass the time?
Yeah, right?
Turns out there's a reason there are 14 aunts and uncles. Yeah.
Let's see, because my family moved, from Southeast Texas over here, and all the rest of my extended family, pretty much until you go a couple generations back, like my great grandmother before she passed away lived in Evergreen, Louisiana, which is Raggle knows where I'm talking about. It's outside of Bunkie, which is outside of Alexandria. It's the little town next to the little town, next to the moderately sized town. But that and a couple of scattered cousins are really like the only family we had in Louisiana, unless you went back 4 generations. All the rest of my more immediate family was still in the Houston area.
Nice.
So when we came over here, I didn't have that experience of like just bumping into cousins and uncles and aunts everywhere I went.
You mean when y'all came to Slidell?
Yeah, when we moved to Slidell,
Mm.
it was just us.
And then I made the mistake of getting a job in the district that he went to school in. So
Yeah.
everybody there knows everybody.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, all the nurses at D200 are at least cousins of mine. The lady that ran food service for a long time was, I think, my mom's cousin. And I
Well,
think
yeah.
half the school board are still related to me directly.
I thought Nick was going to
Yeah.
say all the nurses treated him when he was in school.
Well, that too.
Probably.
Yeah.
And
I got sick a
y'all,
lot as a
like-
kid.
Y'all like know each other?
Yeah, like if you bump into them on a first name basis.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, maybe.
It is until you're a senior trying to skip assemblies and you go to Burger King, but your mom's
Oh,
best
yeah.
friend, who is also her cousin, works as the manager. Yeah. You don't get to go very far.
Yeah.
I made it 3 blocks before I got a phone call.
See, so we live in Mandeville, but my my dad's family, and well, I guess really my dad's parents, they settled in a little place over here just outside of Ponchatoula, so it's, I mean, what, 30 minutes away. Anyway, I have tons of cousins over there. I don't know any of them. I know that they exist.
Yeah.
And there's even like Buffalo Street or Buffalo Road or Howes Road. There's, all the last names are out there, but I don't know who they are. I don't think I could pick them out of a lineup or grocery store or anything. And there's a lot of them. So that's crazy that you know more than just your, first cousins or whatever.
Well, you got to remember when everybody's within 6 miles, I mean,
Point.
people show up to the family reunions. And you're like,
Yeah,
well,
I see.
everybody's going to be there. So we might as well go because people are going to notice if we don't. Yeah.
And
It
what are these
happens.
family reunions like, Nick? Are they like book worthy? Like you're gonna write a book? Do
No.
therapists and psychologists salivate at the thought of you guys getting together? And
I think that's only your family. guys.
is that only
Think
my
of-
family?
Think of card tables full of a lot of German and Swedish cooking, and then
Okay.
baked goods.
I like
Mountains
his
of
family reunions
baked
much
goods.
better than yours.
But do you all get along? That's what I'm asking. Thank you for your honesty,
not
Rachel.
everybody.
I've heard
not
stories.
not everybody. No.
Rach-
I mean,
Rachel's eyes are speaking loudly.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to be a bit diplomatic because I do like most of them. There are some of them that, you know how sometimes when a family member dies and people think there's money and there isn't money, and then the will gets
Oh.
read and nobody gets anything and everybody's wondering where all the money went.
Not at all familiar with that scenario.
Mhm.
Fights like that have gone on. Some of my grandparents' siblings don't get along with each other anymore. They're all in their 70s and 80s. I don't know why it's a problem now.
Right?
Like, they were fine for 70 years. I don't know why they've decided to pick fights in the last decade, but hey, you know what? Maybe they got tired of it.
Mostly because they're probably just grumpy old farts.
Could be.
Mhm.
And I would say
So
they're usually pretty chill.
Rachel, what about your family?
Mhm.
Big farming family or...
I mean, I have a big family, but I wouldn't say farming family at all.
I have an aunt with more children than you have cousins.
Okay, well, yeah,
Total.
okay. I
So
understand.
And
the comment,
I've
the
got, like,
comment
6 of
actually
them.
hits. Then it says Nic has so much family that Gillian is the third cousin twice removed.
It's look, if you had any family members that came through the Midwest in the last 60 years, chances are good.
Chances are good. Chances are really good because the Buffalos, my Sicilian family, came through Chicago. Like, they all settled in Chicago and then sold everything and decided Louisiana's the place we want to go.
That would probably be the Sarbaugh side of my family then. They were in Chicago for a while before they ended up out here.
They were farmers. And then they moved to New Orleans. Not New Orleans. They moved to Beatico, just outside of Ponchatoula, to an Amite, and became farmers down there.
We'll give
never know,
your
we
grandma
might
Gillian's
be-
phone number. And then she can harass Gillian about genealogy.
No,
We might
I
be
don't want to do that
cousins.
to Gillian.
No, that would be mean.
Oh,
Well, you do
Ra-
it. Your family's pretty close.
Yeah, I would say I have a close knit, tight family.
But they're
I was
all
about-
local too. They're a county over from us.
Yeah, they're an hour away from us.
Oh, God, the comments has been blowing up the chat. Matter of fact, keeping it in the family edition.
Mm-hmm.
And just today we were talking about Oedipus syndrome and electric complex with Piper.
That's a fun one.
Yeah, Piper is developing an interest in psychology, and since I almost minored it in college, like, I'm familiar enough with some of this stuff, like Freud, that I make fun of it while I explain it to her. And as I'm explaining it to her, I can see, like, her screaming internally. Because everything with Freud is about sex. All of it.
Yep.
He was a bit obsessed. Yes.
Yeah, I don't think he was a well-adjusted human being.
But,
But explaining this to a 13-year-old is always an exercise in, like, how do I get the point across without sending her to therapy?
Well, you could always make it awkward for fun.
Yeah, this is me, Nick. I don't have to try to make it awkward. It just
That's fair.
becomes awkward.
No, see, she's a teenager now, so we're trying to keep her in the conversation as long as we can. So if we don't make it awkward, she tends to stay longer.
That's fair.
When it goes awkward, it's when we don't see her until the next morning. So
Yeah, when she just
Yeah.
unceremoniously and suddenly says, I'm going to my room, good night. Just done.
We have
okay, love you,
pushed
bye.
too far.
Yeah, she's like, and we're done. Enough talking to the rentals today.
But you know, sometimes when things are a little awkward in this family, I actually, like, don't shy away from it, because, like, yeah, I remember for, like, years, you and I always said that, like, we're going to be affectionate in front of her, even though that all kids get grossed out when their parents are kissing on each other. Because to me, it's like, I want my daughter to know that's what a healthy, well-adjusted married couple is supposed to look like.
Well,
You know, we're
that's
not
your
sup-
job as parents, is to model a healthy, well-adjusted, loving couple.
Yep.
I think so anyway.
What?
Nothing. I was just waiting to see where you went.
Oh,
Because that was a long yep.
Oh, the things I could say. Not about us.
Go for it.
No. It's not about us. The well-modeled couple that I didn't get. I didn't get that well-modeled couple. So it's crazy to me that I can actually be a well-modeled.
Well, you just do the opposite of everything you were shown.
Right. There you go. That's true. That's true. Yeah. No, she's oh gosh, how do I put this without saying too much?
Gently,
She
because
is
she's very private.
13 and in high school and learning all sorts of things about herself and others. Does that make sense? Am I saying enough? Okay.
Yeah.
High
So-
school. I remember high school.
Yeah.
Mine looked like a prison for a reason.
Hers doesn't look like a prison.
No, hers doesn't, but
Mine was designed. Yours was designed as well by an architect that designed prisons.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
Same
know.
same architectural firm that designed the penitentiary over by your grandma designed your high
what?
school.
What is
Yeah.
with that? Because the dorm I lived in college also, he was the architect for the Angola prison in just south of New Orleans. Why did they get all of those same architects?
So it's construction materials are the same. It's the same government bodies that are taking all the bids,
Oh,
and you're housing
okay.
large groups of people in small
Yeah.
confines.
That's
it's-
true. I didn't know that.
You know,
Yeah.
I think guy that comes got the answer. Got it demoralized.
that
Kids.
too.
Yeah.
Or the upcoming generations.
Mm-hmm.
Raggle's swooping in with a good question.
Mm-hmm.
So, how much are you and your spouse alike, and how different are y'all? Who wants to start?
Why are you
Well,
giving me that look?
Rachel,
Why are you giving me that look?
how are we different?
I don't. You should answer that.
No.
You're giving me a look like you know.
You know.
Rachel,
I
I've
don't
only
know.
met met you a handful of times, and I talk to Nick every week, and I can answer this question.
All right, go for it, Phil. How do you think we're different? How do you think we're alike?
Based just from the outside looking in, at least from
Mhm.
my perspective, I think y'all's personalities are very, very opposite.
Mm-hmm.
But I get the impression that like when it comes to like questions of like trying to think of the word I'm looking for here, I think y'all agree on most things, but probably don't agree on how the thing gets done.
Absolutely,
If that makes
correct.
sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so
She-
is that normal? Just because, and I'm not joking at this point. Like,
Mhm.
you're more neurodivergent than I am.
Oh, I am a bucket of high functioning
so
autism.
is because that's very much our relationship too. So
Mhm.
is that just because of the two? I
Could
would
be.
like to think that me and Rachel are more similar than, and you and Nick are similar. Like,
Oh yeah.
I would agree.
yeah.
The
But is that
the
just because of the dynamic of our relationship of who we are?
I mean, we started this off by saying that it must be more than a coincidence that we both married women that are used to dealing with special needs children.
Mhm.
That's
That's not why we picked y'all.
if that's just coincidence, it's a hell of a strong correlation.
Well, I don't know if
I
it
don't-
was purposeful or it's just that she knows how to communicate well with me. Like the way she communicates and she understands how I communicate.
Let's
You
just say
got enamored with the uniform. That's what hooked you.
early on when you brought me over to your parents' house to have a fire,
Mm-hmm.
and that was the first time I met your friends. They said, "Oh, good, she's a teacher."
They did.
Well, see, I wasn't a teacher when we met. I mean, I was in school still, so, and I was just ready to graduate, so I just declared a major.
Yeah.
But then I got into biology and all that stuff, and I don't know. I mean, I've always worked with the public and education and all that, but never in a classroom until the last 4 years have I been in a
Mhm.
classroom. But I mean, that's not why I picked you.
It was
I
the
don't-
uniform.
No, I think it's the reason why I liked you. Well, Okay. It was the uniform.
It was the for the fourth time. It was the uniform.
I have to go back. I have to go, back 5 years, and then back another 5 years, and then 21-year-old me was like, damn,
the uniform did it.
He looks pretty good. He looked, I think it was the uniform.
Yeah, like 5'11", 180 pounds, clean shaven.
Yeah, it was the uniform.
Dark tan.
Yeah, not much
It
else.
don't hurt.
That's it. And then I fell in love with you.
Then you fell in love with me. And see, from
I would say the confidence, your confidence.
Well, he did that. That was nice. The confidence was nice. But Phil was kind of
nerdy.
Well, I wasn't even going to say nerdy. You're still nerdy. You've always been nerdy. But you had a macho attitude that I couldn't stand. You were very.
I was
and
also
sometimes you can still get into that where you're kind of like, I'm right, this is right, I don't want to hear any other opposing whatever, this is how it is. And then I have to I know I have to talk you out of that, like, okay, come on, we're gonna explore this just a little bit more. It's gonna be uncomfortable for you, but we're gonna talk you out of this.
Is that the macho or is that the neurodivergence?
I don't know.
Where like I've already gone through my whole OODA loop in my head, made a decision, and now I'm trying to act on it. I'm not trying to hear alternative points of view. Like I'm in motion to do something.
The decision was made. The train is engaged. We are going now.
Yes.
And I'm still on the landing platform or whatever, going, wait, time out.
Nope, get your butt on the train. It's time to move.
I didn't buy a ticket for this.
You bought a ticket. I punched it for you. Let's get on the train and go.
So
I've already shown him your ID. You're on. Let's go.
Yeah, the comments brought up a good question here. Conflicted if you want someone like him or opposite, so more areas of our life are covered.
So my personal opinion, and like I can't say, because like when Gil and I first met, like what I was most looking for when Gil and I met, and these were all the boxes she checked. Like I was very upfront about, you are interviewing for Mrs. Rabalais. These are the things that I will not compromise on. They have to be this way, and it's not my way. It's just, if this is not what you want, we're wasting your time. It's time to go.
That was an actual conversation. Like
That makes sense.
it was very straightforward. Like, this is the job you were interviewing for.
Well, and from my perspective, like even in my teens, I didn't do casual dating. I didn't do dating for fun. It was always, if we're not compatible with each other, then we're just wasting each other's time, and I'm not into wasting my time or my effort. So I laid it out for her, and a lot of what Gil and I agreed on up front was like, the really basic stuff like monogamy, loyalty, honesty. We both wanted children. We were both very much in the mode of like, till death do us part means something. We're not going into this saying, well, if it works out, it's like, no, we're going to make it work out because we're making a decision. And a lot of the things that I wouldn't say disagreed about, but a lot of things that we are so opposite on, it's things that I appreciate about her. Like she is a much more warm, caring person than I am. It's very difficult for me sometimes to like forgive and forget and mend fences. I'm a very vengeful, angry, like you wrong me and I will wait till my last breath to get even kind of person. And she's the one that talks me off the ledge. It's like everything that we are similar on, it's things that we had to be similar on to make a relationship work. Yeah. And everything we're opposite in, it's either something that complements my strengths or it's something that accounts for my weaknesses. So I guess to a guy that comments point, like, you want both. You want a person who, if Gil and I were exactly similar, then I feel like our weaknesses would compound each other.
They definitely can. Core values the same, I think, is more important than personality similarities.
200%.
Yeah.
I think that's actually what's missing. And like this is something I kind of grouse younger couples and young men about all the time. But I'm like, before you get too concerned with how cute she looks in or out of her clothes, you probably ought to spend a little bit more time talking about, are you two compatible? Like, do y'all want the same things out of life? Do you, like, it doesn't have to be, we have the same goals, but are you both willing to compromise those goals to find a middle point you can both live with? It's I don't know. To me, like I look at a marriage as a partnership. And partnerships in business don't work if both parties don't have somewhat similar goals. And I just feel like there's way too much dating without that forethought, if that makes sense.
Oh, absolutely.
Are you scrunching your face up at what I'm saying, or a comment you're trying to read?
I'm trying to understand. Well, I'm trying to. Yes, the comment.
Sometimes he comments stuff just to get a rise out of us. I will warn you that.
Yeah.
Guy in the
Comment section
comments
can
is
do that sometimes.
he's like,
I'm like, wow, maybe let's not date ever.
well, he's kind of 50-50 with really well thought out questions and just abject open face trolling. The minute I saw Machiavellianism, I figured it goes in that latter category.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, Phil, you mentioned that the vengeful streak. I think where you and I get that same thing is that and maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think you act in a malicious way towards others without intention and forethought. Is that correct? Like, you're not accidentally malicious.
No.
That's not right, Nick.
But you
No.
think about
Sorry,
it.
I have the hiccups.
But no. Like,
I'm not.
when he does it, it's done with intention.
There are times when I am unintentionally thoughtless and say something stupid that is
That's
hurtful.
just being human. That's human error.
Yeah. But like, no, if I'm going to go the step of like being
I'm going out of my way to make your day a problem.
If I'm truly like being mean-spirited and malicious, usually it's fully intentional. It is. And I tried to explain this to Gillian years ago, and I still don't know if like my explanation makes sense to her. But like, I tried to explain to her, I'm like, you have to understand that if I'm going to really go out of my way to try to get even with somebody, it's not this anger's just been boiling inside of me and I finally lost control of it. It's like, no. I don't lose my temper. I let go of it. Mm-hmm. I reach a point where I'm like, today's the day to be the entire problem. And I'm like your grandfather's wake, where I screamed at your entire family, cursed every last one of them, shook my finger in their face, like completely, from their perspective, probably looked like I was going completely off the rails. But from my perspective, it was all these years, I've held my temper, I've played nice, I've been the bigger person, and tonight is the perfect night to throw salt in their wound. Because there's already a fight, there's already screaming and yelling, everybody's embarrassed, everybody's feelings are hurt. Tonight's the night to remind them that Rabelais, we have that ability to pick the perfect moment to stick salt in the wound.
He's never been more attractive to me than that night, by the way.
Surprised I didn't get laid on the way home.
Hey, he defended you. That's important.
Yes.
You should defend your spouse. But the reason I bring it up, Phil, is because I think that you and I can get caught up at times in that a lot of people are malicious unintentionally, or they're not thinking through the consequences of what they're saying or doing. And you and I see it as, that was an intentional attack. I am now on the defensive. I do not like that. And so I'm going to respond that way.
Be nice. Use nice words.
Exactly. And I don't.
No.
That was the teacher voice.
It was. I get that some days on my way out before I leave the house for work. Be nice today. Nope.
Use nice
Yesterday
words.
when I was getting out of the truck,
Yes.
I got teacher voiced.
Uh-huh.
What did he do?
Well, our neighbors next door
Are idiots.
Well, we've got one of those.
are early 20s, mid 20s, still live at home, and they like to party almost every night. And so we live on a cul-de-sac. It's almost like none of our neighbors know how to use their driveway, so everyone parks in the street of the cul-de-sac, and usually there's like room for one or two cars in every one of their driveways. And so we came home the other night. My sister was coming over because we're going through my parents' house, and there was nowhere for them to park, and our driveway was blocked. And my husband, I saw steam come out of his ears, and his he saw red and I knew it, and he's cussing up and down in the truck, and I put my hand on his lap and I was like, calm down. We can handle this. Like, it's okay.
Teacher voice.
We're going, like, just calm down. Calm
Snatch
down.
cables for everyone.
So he jumps out of the car. And so this is my thing with Phil. He acts like that when he's in front of me. Like there's been times where he's had to go across the street. So the party happens this way next door, behind us, and then across the street is just a bunch of idiots that don't know how to drive, and they're the ones that are always hitting our mailbox.
Backed into my mailbox 3 times. Same family.
It's not like the mailboxes are migratory. They're in the same place every time.
It's been there since the 90s.
Apparently that one's made by the Romulans because it has a cloaking device on it.
So I was so scared. Phil, he stormed out of this house. I have 911 dialed on my phone because I know that these trashy people are going to pull a gun on him when he gets there. Well, he's already got his gun, and I just know that there's going to be something. And he goes over there and
I would snatch their
on the
trachea
door.
at the front of their neck.
Knocks on the door. Kathy, I've had this conversation with you before. And I'm like, who the hell is this guy? Like, where did that guy come from? The guy who left this house was ready to rip necks apart. Like,
and if I had been greeted with attitude, ripping necks apart was still on the menu. But when I'm greeted with, hey, Mr. Rabalais, I'm like, okay, we can have a reasonable conversation now, and you can move your crap out of my way.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm greeted with idiot teenagers, or 20-somethings, or 30-somethings, or just idiots in general, then, throat punching might be back on the menu.
And then the girl came out who was blocking our driveway with an attitude, and I lost my shit. I was the one who was like, oh no, honey. No. This isn't how this works. You're blocking my driveway. Lose the attitude. I was very
Lose
upset.
the attitude or lose the bumper. Your choice.
I will snatch that hair right off the top of your head, and you will never park on this cul-de-sac again.
I just have to keep reminding myself that I still do have a valve stem removal tool sitting in my toolbox from my days at a tire shop, and I'm not above taking all 4 of somebody's valve cores and leaving them just sitting on the pavement.
I keep one in my truck with my tire.
I'm not saying I would ever do it
kit.
On the internet in front of 1,000 witnesses, with statute of limitations and all that. I'm just saying that hypothetically, it's not that hard to take your valve cores out, and you ain't gonna be able to air that back up afterwards.
Well, see, and I'm always so afraid of like Phil's reaction, not towards me or anything like that, but like I'm afraid that he's really going to get pissed enough and
Snatch somebody.
And snatch somebody. But it's really me. It's really me who it doesn't take much to just dig down into the Hal's genes that I have, where everybody yelled at everybody and hands were thrown all the time. It doesn't take much for me to do that. So maybe Phil should talk to me in the teacher voice of, calm down, babe.
That doesn't work.
No, that just makes it worse.
That's like trying to put a campfire out with gasoline every time.
That just makes it worse.
Yeah, the worst words a man can utter to an angry wife is calm down.
Oh, I've 100% done that. I've done that a bunch.
Doesn't work.
Okay, well
It's because I don't realize how mad you are usually.
I was 8 months pregnant, 8 or 9 months pregnant.
Well, that's not a good call.
We had moved into this house and we were still kind of setting up things. I was still working. And I remember we got up that morning and I don't know what was said, but Phil looked at me and he goes, well, aren't you being a little bitch this morning? Y'all, those oranges on the counter, they flew so fast out of my hand towards his head. Orange juice everywhere. And then he looks at me and he goes, now you got to clean that up.
And I turned around and walked out.
I was so mad.
I don't remember what we were fighting about, but it feels like you probably started it.
Probably. I probably deserved it. He didn't call me a bitch. He said, "Aren't you being bitchy?" or something like
No,
that.
I said, "Aren't you being you're being a little hormonal."
No, you said bitch.
Did I say
remember bitch. I remember bitch, and
Did
then
I
I
say
don't
bitch,
remember
or did you
much
hear
else.
bitch?
I don't. I blacked out.
Did I
And
say
I
it, or
just-
did you hear it? Because we've gone through this before where I've said something and
don't
you've
know.
heard something completely different. Like when I said, "Babe, we really can't afford Mexican food tonight," and you said, "I know you don't love me anymore," that kind of
If you
thing.
want a divorce, just tell me
Well,
you want a divorce.
Yeah.
Look, tacos
No.
is serious business.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, so is poverty.
Yeah.
we don't eat out much anymore at all, though. So, but yeah,
And we're still
that
married.
that was. I remember that. That was though. So Phil, back to what you were talking about, Nick. He a lot of what he does, there is no emotion tied to it. Like he's just matter of fact. I'm going to tell you what it is, and here it is. Like the emotion is just not there. He has learned that he has to slide the emotion in, at least with me. Like he's got to at least show that he's thought about and considered emotion when he brings stuff up with me. But I don't remember where I was going with that.
I mean, kind of my problem, and like y'all tell me if this sounds even remotely familiar to y'all, but like my experience growing up was always that if I made a decision like in the heat of the moment emotionally, I felt like it always screwed me over later. Or like even if I made the right decision, I made it for the wrong reasons. So I worked really hard as a young man, as a teenager, to like be able to divorce my emotions from my decision making and just try to make rational, coherent, thought out decisions. And then I met a very emotional woman and had to introduce emotions back in a little bit. But even to this day, like I'm still very much like if I make a decision, I'm not making it with regard to like, oh, I'm angry or I'm sad or I'm nervous or I'm worried or I'm anxious. It's like, no, this is the right decision to make because it gives me the greatest chance of the outcomes I want. I've thought through the next like 10 moves, in this chess game of life, and this is the right decision to make. And that's the one we're going to make. And we just have to deal with the emotions that are preventing us from making the smart decision here.
I was very fortunate in the role models that I had growing up that they saw that reactive impulse in me at a very young age, and they had the same thing when they were that age. My grandfather's on both sides, and they were able to talk me through showing me how to do it and telling me how to do it, how to not react like that, and how to intentionally go through life. But I don't know that it got to a point where I didn't consider emotion because I didn't sort of develop it myself, maybe.
What do you mean by that?
So it's kind of hard to explain. I don't know if I can actually. Like the emotional consideration does still enter my thought process, but it's not super important, but it is still there. Like
Does it enter with regards to Rachel?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But everyone else is just
most other people, yeah. No, I can just flatline with most other people.
Yeah,
even
that's
when
still...
I'm incredibly angry, because I know that anger will just be destructive, and because I learned how to compartmentalize that at a pretty young age. I think that really helped.
Okay.
My dog is getting antsy.
Yeah, I was about to say, I saw her peeking out.
Yeah. She's upset because she didn't get couch cuddles.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know about your guys' dog that you had, but our dogs have always been incredibly habit forming. If you do something 3 days in a row, this is now forever.
No, Trixie wasn't like that. Trixie was also very emotional. She didn't care if we did something 3 days, at the same, every time at the whatever for 3 days in a row. She just wanted to be around Mama. It didn't matter what happened, where I went, what I was doing.
She was a mama's girl.
Yeah. Jeff, their emotional reaction is unimportant, says Jeff. Their emotional reaction often gets in the way. I feel like.
Yeah, I can see that.
Not necessarily yours, but like when like that lady I had a problem with in Menards.
Okay.
I was in Menards one day. This lady was in the way. I asked her to move. She didn't move. I got her attention and then asked her to move. And I used the phrase, "Can you move? I need to get some pipe nipples." And
I don't think you said pipe.
No, I said I need to get to the pipe nipples.
Oh, okay.
Because that's what the short pieces of black threaded steel pipe are called, pipe nipples. She took that as an attempt at sexual harassment somehow in a fucking hardware store. And she blew up at me, and I'm like, this is wildly inappropriate of you. I'm now just going to move your mobility scooter out of my way because you're being unreasonable and I don't have the time for this. Like, I understand academically that those people get caught up in the emotions that they're getting caught up in, but I don't have as much patience for it because I can control my emotional reactions and stay in a mostly professional, polite fashion. I don't have a lot of tolerance for people in public that can't.
So, have you ever done that before? I see you looking at me. Have you ever done that in front of Rachel before?
Yeah, not intentionally, but yeah.
And how do you feel, Rachel?
I'm embarrassed.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's a difference in how we were raised, though, and I don't think that's a problem. I think it's great that you are more comfortable with that than I am, or more capable with that stuff than I am.
With emotions?
Yeah, and dealing with people that are in an emotional state, because I can't.
So the last time I remember that happening, we were at the grocery store, and there was this woman who, yes, she was in the way. Her buggy was in the way. She was checking out. We were trying to get past her. And Phil was already pissed off. Like, we already have, like, when we go grocery shopping together, I have to give Phil the
pep talk.
The pep talk. We're going to get in there. We're going to do this quickly. We're not going to run people over with the buggy. And we are going to be kind.
Special needs children.
You are
remember.
not going to snap at me because
we need explicit instructions.
I want to look at something that's not on the list, or consider something that's not on the list. Like, every time we go shopping, that is the conversation. So we are going to check out. Obviously, the shopping trip didn't go as planned. He was pissed by the time we got to the register, and he tells this woman, "Excuse me," and she didn't answer. "Excuse me, we need to get through." Well, Lord, if it wasn't one of my parents who turned around with one of my students, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And I looked at the little girl. I was like, "Hey, how's your summer?"
Okay,
Mr. Rabalais.
but hear me out.
Misses you guys so much.
But hear me out. It's Aldi, right? It's self-checkout. And there's
Fairly
self-checkouts
narrow
over here.
lanes. Yep.
And there's self-checkouts over here. But there is more than sufficient space for a buggy and room down the middle for people to get through, right? But that doesn't work when there's a full buggy width between where your buggy is and where you're putting the groceries.
Why?
And
that's not even efficient. Why would you do that?
And she's standing in between the buggy and the place she has to put the groceries, just like back and forth.
I know.
And no sense of I am screwing over all my fellow man who cannot get around me, and holding everybody from getting to the other 3 self-checkouts that are unattended because no one else will ask this knucklehead to please move.
That's like how I feel about people that have conversations in the middle of the aisle at a store.
Oh, Jesus
This
Christ.
is not a fucking social club.
Okay.
If you want to socialize, step outside in the parking lot and
Thank
get away
you.
from the rest of us. I'm trying to get things done and get out of here.
The
I
whole
do-
parking lot, but you 4 people have to have a 20-minute conversation in the middle of a grocery store.
Directly in front of whatever I'm trying to get to.
So
Always.
I know when I see that it's not going to be pretty. So I usually walk off to go get something else.
Oh, is that why you walk like a zigzag pattern through the store instead of going in the aisles in order?
No, but it also depends on where we're at and what store we're at, because I have seen students or parents out at the store. Sometimes I'm zigzagging to avoid
them because we don't want to talk to them.
I don't
we don't
want to
see
or
them.
I didn't dress appropriately. We're working on the yard. And Nick says we have to go to Menards to get something.
Oh yeah. But you're going to be in Menards like 2.5 minutes tops.
And most of the time,
but
that's
the conversation between parents and teachers in the wild are never just, hey, how's it going? Hope you're having a great weekend. It always wants to talk about little Tommy's behavior and why didn't you put the grades in yet? And I saw your comment on his report card, and it's like, it's Saturday. I don't want to look at you.
Look at the time. These aren't office hours.
Tommy. Exactly.
Do you want me to
so
bail you
zigzag.
Do you want me to bail you out of those conversations next time?
No.
Because I could always smack you in the butt and say, "Get back to work. We got to get these groceries out of here."
No.
We could make it a real short conversation.
No, because then the kids go back to school and then they're like, I saw Mrs. So-and-so at Menards or wherever.
Yeah. To all of the parents out there, we know more about your business than you know about your business.
So don't approach us in public. Got it.
I don't want to give them something to go back and talk about. Because as far as they're concerned, I eat, live, sleep at school.
At school, yeah.
And that's it. I don't live outside of school.
I think some of the students definitely think that like you're basically like a semi-sentient mushroom and you just kind of sprout up out of the floor of your classroom and then you go away at the end of the day.
Once they get over the pure shock of seeing us in the wild, then they want to talk to us.
You're a real person?
I swear I left you at school on Friday, Miss Rabalais. What are you doing here?
To be fair,
I do remember having that conversation as a kid, though, with my parents. Like, they go other places.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because when you think about when you're a kid, where are your grandparents whenever you see them? They're at their house or they're at your house. Your parents, they're at your house or they're with you. I think it's a bit of a shock to the kids when they, until they really get that idea through their head.
Yeah. I mean, like my middle schoolers, when I see them, it's not as much of a shock, especially like my 7th graders. They want to just hang out in the store. And it's like, no, I'll see you Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I love you dearly. I got enough of you this week. I need a break.
Mm-hmm.
But I've had 5-year-olds come in and say, my mommy had diarrhea this morning.
Oh yeah.
My mommy's wearing a diaper today.
Good.
I know more about their divorces. I know more about their fights. I know more about their religious views, who they voted for, why they voted for that person. Oh man, with the story we could tell you about parents and families.
Parents, if you engage in recreational drug use, I promise you your kids talk about it.
Yeah.
They smell like it. I
Yeah.
can't tell you how many times I've opened the door in Carline and got a contact high because mom smoked a joint on the way to school. And
Or open up their backpack.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's like, oh.
Yeah.
I think me and Nick both fought over this comment.
We did. We hit the button at the
Bro
same
knows
time.
more than the CIA.
Hey, kids are honest. Kids are painfully honest.
They are, and they don't know what is supposed to be a family secret and what's not supposed to be a family secret. And that's mostly, I think, because they trust and, they feel comfortable with their teachers. So they just want to open up and tell you all the things that they know.
Everything.
And it's usually everything. And,
It's usually too much.
So it is 9:00. Let's round this out with one last question so that I don't keep them there until their dog needs therapy. Or are you out so late that you don't get enough sleep for work tomorrow?
Yes.
That's
I have to
important.
go to work tomorrow.
Sorry,
I don't have
babe.
to go to work.
You could have -40, Gillian.
No.
You could choose that
I'll
or going
go to work. I'll go to work.
I thought so.
I shouldn't complain. We don't have students tomorrow because it's parent-teacher conference day.
So all 4 people, what's the secret to a successful marriage? Define success your own way. What's the secret? Like if you had to give 20-something-year-old you advice, or if you had to give yourself advice when you very first stepped into this marriage, what advice would you say? Like this is the secret sauce. This is the Christ chalice. This is what makes it all work.
I got one.
You
I
can't
got
start
one
with
too.
marry the
Go
cute guy
ahead,
in
hon.
uniform.
But I wonder if we have the same one.
Go for it.
No, you say it.
Nope, you got to go first. You said you had it.
I would say communication.
That's a
Yeah.
good one.
I agree with that. The one that popped into my head was when you do have disagreements or you do have a fight or arguments or whatever, you gotta not look at it as you versus your partner. It needs to be you and your partner versus the problem, whatever the
Mhm.
problem is. That could be
Mhm.
health related. That could be shit going wrong, breaking down the house. That could be somebody, ran something through a door or something stupid. Somebody made a bad choice. It's got to be you two versus the problem.
Yeah. That goes with what I was thinking was you're on the same team.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, you're on the same team. You have
So-
to root for each other too.
100%.
Mhm. Oh, absolutely.
I'm going to be the contrarian here.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
The secret to a happy marriage, to a successful marriage, is to choose your battles.
Yeah.
The thing
That
I
too.
always tell people is like this is my own personal OODA loop in my head whenever I see storm clouds on the horizon between me and my spouse. I always ask myself if the thing we're about to fight over is worth her being mad at me for the rest of the day.
Mm.
And if the answer is no, then it's probably a small enough issue. I shouldn't make an issue out of it. Like, she wants to go to go eat Mexican instead of going out to eat steak. I don't care that much. We'll go do whatever you want. Like don't make a fight where there doesn't need to be one. And if at any point in time the answer is yes, like I am prepared to suffer through my wife being pissed at me for a couple of days because this is so important. I can't just let this slide. We have to compromise on it.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, like the potential consequence of her being upset with me, it's less of a factor than me allowing a decision that I can't live with.
Yeah, because
Does
that's
that make
only going to
sense?
make the problem worse in the long term.
Yeah. But that's the advice I give to, that's the advice I came around to really early in this relationship. It's the advice I give to other people is if it is not worth fighting over, don't.
Mm-hmm.
I
do
think,
that.
like, I know we're trying to get out of here, but the biggest thing I think in our relationship, the whole 21 years has been, I am so overly emotional when it comes, like, when we get to the point where we're having a fight or whatever, my emotions are so raw and I'm looking for that emotion from you, but you're just, like we said earlier, you're just not that. And that's
Mhm.
okay. But it usually takes time for me to like get the emotion out, for me to get my emotion out, for you to be like, oh, I get it. I need to respond this way.
Mm.
Does that make sense? So
Also worth pointing out that sometimes what makes the fights worse is that she says things and my brain has this really interesting way of like cataloging things where like words have meanings. So she'll say something in a fight and I will like pursue that like it's a rational train of thought, and then she'll say something that seems to contradict it, and then I'm like, time out, wait a second. You just said this, now you're saying this, and these two things don't go together, which makes it the fight 10 times worse. Because
Thankfully,
I'm trying...
she does not do that.
But sometimes with our emotions, we don't can't
Oh,
explain.
I get that, but that's what you say though. You make it very clear that you cannot currently explain it,
Yeah.
and that makes it so much easier for me.
well, and what we learned too, like years and years ago, was I learned that I sometimes have to preface things. So like I have to tell Phil, I am not looking for you to fix this. This is me venting. I just need a sounding board. Like this is not, I'm not upset with you, but I've got to get this off my chest. I just need you to listen. Just listen.
Talking about communication, you've also gotten into the phase within the last couple of years where like when you have like one of those wild off the wall ideas you haven't fully thought through yet, you'll actually preface that as, I haven't really thought this all through yet, but I just want to kind of like throw the spaghetti on the fridge, see if it sticks. Because my way of doing things is that when I come to dealing with an idea, like I have thought about the idea, I've considered how to do it, I've planned it out. Like I am no longer coming to you to talk through how to do this. I'm coming to you for a final sign-off because I've already figured out the whole plan.
I have blueprinted the new bathroom.
Yeah, exactly.
So when she throws that out to me, like I'm immediately like looking for all those things I do, and she doesn't have them, and that's frustrating for me because I'm like, how could you propose this thing and you haven't even thought it all the way through? But that's the problem, is you and I don't work the same way. We don't think the same way. Like I agree wholeheartedly about how important communication is, but like learning your other spouse's communication style is so freaking important because like
And that can take a long time.
It
A
can.
long time. Yeah, it can. It can take
Mm-hmm.
a long
a
time.
decade and a half for us.
Probably.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, I'm not a good test subject. I
You've
mean,
also changed so much since we met. I'm still the same grumpy old man that I always was.
that's true. That's true.
Gillian to
You
this day
can't look
jokes
at
that I
me.
was 8 years old with a briefcase and a 10-year plan. Because I just
was.
Well, but I've always been a really serious person, and I think that's been the hardest thing for the two of us to marry together is like to marry together our completely opposite personalities. Because you were so type B and you were so just freewheeling, decide on the spur of the moment, Friday afternoon you want to go to the beach, and I am so structured, rational, plan everything. I don't like doing things spur of the moment. I like to plan.
That's me.
We used to fight every time we go on
Both.
vacation because I wanted to like plan the weekend out.
Mm-hmm.
And that would drive her nuts because there was no spontaneity. And I'm like, spontaneity scares the shit out of me. I don't want spontaneity. I want to plan things.
I cannot have backup routes to spontaneity.
Yes.
Right?
But that
The
has been
evacuation plan for spontaneity does not exist, and that's a problem.
the evacuation route for spontaneity is going to be messy, and I don't like messy.
Mhm.
Wow.
That's one thing that works really well for us is we're both planners.
Yeah.
We both like to have, at the very least, a rough outline of what's going to go on, and so that makes that kind of easy.
Well, we
I
did
know.
have a hard time communicating at first.
Oh yeah,
We had
Yeah.
a
Of
lot of
course.
disagreements.
of course we would.
Yeah.
I mean, I think any, regardless of if you're in a romantic relationship or not, any two people trying to connect their lives together, whether that's living with your best friend or living with your significant other, there's going to be disagreements. I think that's inevitable.
yeah.
It's how you manage them that's important.
Yeah. I mean, quite frankly, you know, my brother-in-law, who we've known each other 25 years, we're best friends. Like, he and I fight like kids sometimes, and we don't do anything the same way. And usually, us working together on something devolves into like either I have to consciously take a step back to let him run it, or I just like push him out of the way and say, just get the hell out of the way, just let me take care of it.
Who is
Because like
this?
Ross,
Oh,
like think about the bathroom remodel
yeah.
where he wanted I love my brother-in-law to death, truly do, like a brother. But he wanted to very pedantically like plan how he was going to extricate the tub from where it was, the old tub that had to come out in pieces to get it out of this space. And after listening to him like wargame it to himself for about 5 minutes, I literally said, give me the Sawzall, move. And it was out in 45 seconds in two pieces.
That's demo though.
Yes,
That's
but demo
demo.
doesn't require a 5 minute, but demo doesn't require a 10-year plan. It requires a Sawzall and a large angry friend.
And at the a cursory knowledge of where the plumbing and electrical is, ideally.
The electrical was on the other side of the room. The plumbing was way over there. We were good.
Good. Because that can get expensive in a real hurry.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, they'd already ripped out half a wall so we could see the plumbing. It was all good.
Nice.
Anyway. So yeah, I don't know what exactly we were planning on for this show, other than to bring our spouses on and just BS, but
Yeah.
no one
That's
gave
what
us
we
any.
did.
We only had a couple questions, and I think we answered
Mhm.
all of those.
I think so. We did get one that you did not answer yet, Phil.
If it was about a tent, the answer is no.
It's about the sequel to your book.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Gillian's writing a book. Is she going to finish her first book before you finish your sequel?
She hasn't even started that book.
She has notes.
Started.
That's
I
a
have
start.
notes. I have chapters and notes for chapters and notes for notes. I just waiting on her.
She's waiting on the statute of limitations to run out and some people to pass away.
That is a fair reason.
The names have been changed to protect the innocent in my book.
I don't know. Like I have started that daggum sequel like 3 times. I wrote 75% of it and then abandoned it. I don't know. Every time someone brings up the sequel to American Insurgent, I get frustrated with myself because like I pounded the first book out in like less than 2 months, which was a breakneck pace to write a book. And shortly after that, my entire career changed tracks, and I'm in a place work-wise where like I come home most days exhausted or frustrated or just so burnt out that, put it this way, Dr. Scary Guy, I went from a job where I spent like 9 hours a day with headphones in my ears doing financial calculations, blasting heavy metal usually, which is light work for me. And I would come home like awake and alert, ready to do something else, like, because it wasn't a lot of like people, and people exhaust me. My current job is probably 80% project meetings, working in teams. It's like, it's challenging and I like the work, but it is 100% more exhausting than what I used to do for a living.
That's fair.
So it's just one of those things where like by the time I come home from work, I mean, Gillian has seen me more often than not hit that front door and literally sigh as soon as I walk through the door, because I'm just, Jesus Christ, I'm done every day. So finding the available bandwidth and energy to write is challenging.
Yeah.
If I were if I change career tracks again, might totally pick it up and have that bandwidth. But it was literally like as that book was being published was when my work life turned upside down. Which is also why I didn't do as much like marketing and everything as I wanted, because things were already going to 11 at that point.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It was good to see y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looking forward to seeing you again in Kentucky. That'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So for anybody that doesn't know what we're talking about, the annual patron trip now it's this year. This coming summer is going to be Kentucky. If you're on Patreon, I did leave a post with all that information. The annual patron, the matter of fact summer camp, it's Romachabrung. You make your own arrangements. You come out, hang out. There's no classes. There's no weirdos. I mean, there's weirdos, but there's no weird stuff.
Lots of dogs.
Yeah.
Lots of dogs.
But it really is just a family camping trip. And I encourage people to bring their spouses and their kids. And we just spend a week together, hanging out, getting to know each other, goofing off. It's a fun time.
It is fun. Our kids have all grown up together. Our dogs have grown up together.
There's now one couple dating from 2 of the families.
There is an MOF couple now. Did y'all know about that? Okay.
I heard one of them went to visit the other out of state.
Yes.
That's fun.
Homecoming, I think.
That's cute.
Yeah, that was sweet.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Fun part is everybody knows everybody else's parents, so like everybody knew. Both the young man knew exactly what he was getting into.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right. I guess we'll go ahead and punt this one out the door. It's like 9:15 over here, which means I think it's 10:15 where y'all
Same time
no,
zone.
you're an hour.
We're due north of you. Andrew's to the right.
Andrew's to the right of me. I geography was not my thing, obviously. But it is getting late, even though only one of us has to go to school tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Night.
Good night, all y'all. Thanks for joining us.
Everybody.
Come back another time. And if y'all want us to drag the spouses on again, it requires harassment.
I don't mind coming back on.
Neither do
Does
I.
Rachel mind coming back on?
I don't mind.
Awesome.
All right. Talk to her in the week. Bye, everybody. Take
Bye,
care of each
y'all.
other. Take care of yourselves. See you next time.